get the old warm-up set in here. Yeah, there we go. Oh God, it's gonna hit the microphone. Oh no, it's good. I can't believe how few people are in here. Actually, that's not true. There was an ASU football game last night, so yeah, nobody's gonna be here on Sunday morning. These are definitely the types of workouts that I like, not only like to do, but the ones that I have people do when they work with me in my fitness coaching is the pyramid training. And you, there's two types. There's reverse pyramid training, which is basically you start with your heaviest set and they get lighter as you go. And then there's pyramid training, which is the one I recommend, where you start with your lightest set and you progress through. And there's a couple, reverse pyramid training is the more popular, but I like pyramid training for a couple of reasons. One, because it basically bakes your warm-up sets in. So, one criticism of reverse pyramid training is if you immediately jump into your heaviest set, then there's a higher chance that you could pull a muscle or get injured or something. And, at 32, I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can. And I don't want people on my program to get injured either. So pyramid training is definitely the way to go. Some people say, "Oh, well, you're wearing yourself out, you're fatiguing yourself, and by the time you get to your heaviest set, you have nothing left." I don't know what you guys are starting with, but that has not been the case in my experience. So yeah, this is the way to go. Well, looks like the water boy just needed some water. Wow, Brent. Think that up all by yourself? Shut up, Brent. I know their names aren't both Brent. I forget the other guy's name. Chest has definitely been for my whole life, basically, the toughest thing for me to develop. One of the reasons working against me is that when I was 15, I broke my hand and my wrist in longboarding down a hill like a moron, and the doctor was like, apparently didn't go to medical school, so he missed the fact that the bone in the hand was broken. So by the time they figured it out, there was like nothing they could really do. So they had to do this whole thing where they put like a plate and 8 screws. I don't know if you see that scar there, but so it doesn't quite bend all the way. And so I think there's probably a physical limit to how strong I can get pushing exercises wise. Maybe one day they can fix that, but we work with what we've got, right? I will show them the shoulder press. If you've never seen or heard of a movie called Hercules in New York, you should definitely check it out. It's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's very first movies ever, and he was still kind of learning how to speak English, so his accent is so thick, it's like, oh my, like you barely even understand him. Whew. So we got our lunch queued up here. I don't know if you can really tell what this is, but this is basically my attempt at making a macro-friendly Popeyes chicken sandwich. Um, a lot of these things that I think up for weekly recipes, full day of eating, things like that. A lot of times it's just, it really comes down to what do I feel like eating. A lot of times when I'll plan out my weekly menu a little bit ahead of time, so a couple days before I go grocery shopping. So let's say, I consider my week to start on a Monday, so I'll kind of think about it on Friday, and it's usually just things like, what have I not had in a while? Like, oh, you know what? Tacos. I've really been craving tacos lately. I'll make something out of that. And sometimes I'll try to put kind of a twist on it and say, like, oh, like tacos are great, but wouldn't it be interesting if I could blend it with, maybe like an Asian taco fusion or something to that effect, like Asian taco, if like Japanese taco, whatever, right? So that's a big part of how I come up with these things, and also it's a big part of why I do it is because the entire idea is to keep your keep it interesting and keep yourself wanting to eat macro friendly meals and things like that, because the second you try to make it too regimented and too, like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm just eating chicken, broccoli, and rice and every week. And so, granted, this doesn't necessarily taste as satiating or satisfying as a true Popeye's chicken sandwich, but it tastes pretty damn close. And is it necessarily as good as, as clean and healthy and yada yada as eating like purely for some like bodybuilding competition or something like that? No, but it's pretty damn close. So I would rather you eat like this and get long-term results and be able to stick with them than try to do it too hard, too fast, and blow up after a week or a month or however long that your natural, self-control can let you do this. My second meal of the day here. This big old I don't know what's a clever name for this. Mozzarella meatball marinara bake. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like to have something bigger like this. I usually save it for later in the day because I do intermittent fasting and I don't stress about it. I don't do anything crazy. It's pretty simple. I just don't eat anything for the first like 4 to 6 hours of the day. So if I'm up at 5, that means I'm not going to eat anything or take in any true calories until maybe like 11, something like that. So that's kind of so in a way, I'm still eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm just spacing it out differently. Some people swear by intermittent fasting. Some people get kind of snake oil salesman-y with it of like, oh, it'll target burn your fat and it'll do. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool that can help you regulate your calorie intake if you're only doing the 16-hour, 16-8 split, which is you're eating all your calories in an 8-hour window. Then yes, it's a little bit easier for you to kind of pack it in and have it tracked in, but it's not necessary. As long as you're meeting your daily intake, that's the most important thing. All right. Last meal of the day. Got these pumpkin spice protein pancakes. They are better than I thought they were going to be. I actually was not a big fan of pumpkin stuff. I never really have been, but I figured, you know what, dude, pumpkin spice, like every white girl goes crazy over those pumpkin spice lattes, so I figured I might as well try one out. Mm. No, no, they are good. Obviously, I try to get pretty creative with the stuff I eat, just because I've been doing it so long now that for me, it satisfies that creative part of my brain. And two, it just helps switch things up so I never get tired of any of the foods I'm eating. So my goal is to be doing this for the rest of my life, because I can build you a fitness model physique, but if your goal is to only lose like 10 pounds, like that's all you care about, that's cool too. So one thing I want to make clear, if you're one of my clients and you're doing fitness coaching with me, every meal you eat does not have to be like a recipe like this. It, if you want to eat cleaner for whatever reasons, whether just more personal health benefits and stuff like that, that's cool. If you want to I know I knock it all the time. If you want to just do salad and chicken and rice and eat super clean like that, I could totally help you do that. Um, you do not have to make every meal like a thing. If you're short on time, just throw a shredded chicken wrap together, or if you're on the go, just like whip up a quick breakfast burrito before you take off, or if you're at night, these were actually pretty easy. It took like 10 minutes. I had that cookbook. That link is there if you want to buy that. You also do get it as automatically included with when you sign up to be a client of mine, fitness coaching. But you do not have to use it if you don't want. It's there. It's an additional resource. Um, I'm pretty proud of it, and I think there's really good stuff in it. And I think every one of those recipes is fantastic. I'm obviously a little bit biased, but yeah. So, and even me, like sometimes there are days where I'm like, dude, I don't really feel like a recipe. I'm gonna just throw some steak on the grill. You know, maybe put them in the air fryer to make little steak bites. I'll just throw some potatoes in the air fryer, like, and just have a meal. So it doesn't always have to be like a recipe, if you will. Um, yeah, this is really good. But if you just like, dude, I just want normal protein pancakes, then that's all good too. Mm, I feel like a basic white girl. And pumpkin spice, everything.